We are now at Antone's, home of the blues. It's been host to hundreds of musicians throughout its several decades, including B.B. King, Gary Clark Jr., Marsha Ball, Ruthie Foster, Barbara Lynn, and so many more. And standing with me now is brand manager Sam Boland, who you have a dream job here, immersed in music every day.
Yeah.
I love it for you.
Thank you.
Tell me just how do you think this place, this club, this historical institution has been here for so long?
You know, it's all about the people that you mentioned, the people that played here and, you know, built the foundations of American music. And it's those people that I think, you know, build that longevity. Club opened in 1975, which was an interesting time because a lot of those big names were still alive, but they were largely out of work. You know, blues just wasn't really popular anymore. Yeah. And so the club's mission really was to celebrate those people and to educate folks who maybe they were listening to the Rolling Stones and they didn't realize that the Stones were doing, you know, a Memphis Slim song or something like that. And so, you know, that's really the mission of the club. It's maintained the mission of the club. And the interesting thing is, like, you had all these old school legends and you had all these young kids who wanted to play with them. And so I think that's the other part, is that all these youngsters got to learn directly from the source. And then, you know, they became, as the guard changes, they became kind of the torch carriers, and, you know, the music just gets passed down generation to generation.
Yeah, and I love that. And I love just the mix of the seasoned versus the younger and the more juvenile musician. How do you think you've seen those generations come together in here, sort of like a mix of the older and the newer?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Gary Clark Jr. earlier, and he started here when he was 14 years old with Yves Monset, and, you know, he's on stage with James Cotton and Willie Smith, and even today, like, Jackie Benson's a perfect example of somebody who was in that crowd and met those people, and she, you know, the roots are in blues, but then she just stretches it to something that's like Jimi Hendrix level of stretching music, you know? It's pretty amazing.
I love that. Well, congratulations on celebrating 50 years.
Thank you.
Here's to 50 more.
How about it? Yeah.
Come on down and hear some music and hear some great performances at Antone's. Thank you so much for joining us on this Downtown Austin episode of Lifestyle Austin, brought to you by the Downtown Austin Alliance.